Hello everyone and welcome to today's video where today I'm going to be ranking all the seasons of my favorite show, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. I feel like my channel has just become a place where I rank stuff and do lists and shit like that. Yeah, I know, very fucking original. But in my defense, this is the only fucking thing I could think of. Guys, if me and the 0 other guys who consistently watch this video come together and make a big push, I think we can get this channel to 50 subs. Now I know, this might sound like a lot, but I promise, if you click that subscribe button, you won't die a virgin. You have my guarantee. Coming in at number 7, we have Season 1. Now the first thing that you will notice while watching Season 1 is the animation quality is really shitty. It looks like they were only probably about halfway done animating these episodes when they came out, but then again, the season is from 2008. The reason why Season 1 comes in last is because it's pretty obvious that most of the episodes are just bad. There are a couple of outliers, like the first episode was pretty good, Episode 5 was probably the best of the season, the Ryloth stuff was okay, but overall, I would recommend just mostly staying away from this season. Coming in at number 6, we have Season 2. Now Season 2 is a huge step up from Season 1. The difference between Season 2 and Season 1 is that Season 2 actually has a decent amount of good episodes. Season 1 was a little bit of a chore to get through, where in Season 2, it's when the show starts to really take true shape. Although this isn't the first time we get to see Cad Bane, this is the first time I think we truly get to see what his character is all about. The second Battle of Geonosis was a very solid arc, and the Mandalore arc was very good. It was our introduction to the Darksaber, Death Watch, and we got a lot of character development for Obi-Wan. Coming in at number 5, we have Season 7. Now, I recently did a review of Season 7, so if you want to go check that out, it would be much appreciated. Now, Season 7 is the shortest season in the series with only 12 episodes, and it's really hard to judge this season as a whole because the quality is so up and down. To give you some context, Season 7 has the best arc in the show, which is the Siege of Mandalore, and it also has the worst arc in the show, which is the Martez Sisters arc. And yes, I do think that arc is the worst in the show, even worse than the Droids arc. Because at least the Droids arc had one good episode, whereas for this arc, all of the episodes suck. There is also the Bad Batch arc, which is pretty good, but it's pretty forgettable. Coming in at number 4, we have Season 3. Now this was a really close one between Season 3 and Season 6, but I'm going to put Season 3 here. Now once we get to Season 3, this is when Clone Wars starts to really reach its full potential. The show peaks between Seasons 3 to 6. Season 3 has got a lot of fun stuff in it. Besides the first 2 episodes, which were great, the season starts out a little slow, and then really picks up towards the second half. There's a lot of awesome content that is going on in the second half of the season, and really adds a lot of lore to Star Wars. We got an episode that shows us that the politics of the war are definitely not as black and white as we once thought. We also get to see Asajj Ventress get betrayed by Dooku, which leads to the creation of Savage Opress. And we got to see one of the most interesting pieces of Star Wars content which has probably been ever made, which was the Mortis arc. The Citadel was a very good arc, and the last 2 episodes were solid, making this overall a very good season. Coming in at number 3, we have Season 6. Now I said it before, it was really hard for me to choose between Season 3 and Season 6. And the reason I chose to put Season 6 above Season 3 is because I think that the stories that were told in Season 6 were a little more important, if that makes sense. Let me elaborate on what I'm saying a little bit. So the first arc we get is the best in the season, where Tuff's inhibitor chip goes off early, and Fives eventually discovers Palpatine's plot, but is killed right before he can tell anybody. This gives us a lot of perspective of what a clone thinks of Order 66 before it's even executed, and this just makes the 330 seconds betrayal of Ahsoka in the season finale, or the series finale, even more sad and tragic. The next arc was a great arc for Anakin's character development, and we see how he's falling even closer to the dark side when Rush Clovis gets too close to Padme for his liking. The next 2 episodes were dumb, so I won't talk about them. And in the season finale, we see Yoda get more powerful in the Force, so that's always a bonus. Coming in at number 2, we have Season 5. Now while Season 5 can be a little shitty at times, Season 5 is home to some of the best arcs in the show. I'll start by getting the bad out of the way. Okay, so obviously the droid arc is bad. I didn't hate it as much as other people, but I get why people hate it. I did like the 3rd episode, however, because the last 5 minutes of that episode were great. Then there's the Jedi Youngling arc. I thought it was alright at first, but it really dragged on, and by the fourth episode in the arc, I just wanted it to end. So now let's talk about the good parts of this season. The Battle of Onderon was good. Nothing incredibly special here, but we get to see Saw Gerrera for the first time, so that's cool. Maul's takeover of Mandalore was my favorite arc in the show until the Siege of Mandalore, because Maul is my favorite Star Wars character, and in this arc, he's at the peak in terms of being a badass. And the season finishes off with Ahsoka's arc. This arc is really good at showing us just how out of touch the Jedi have become of what they're supposed to be. And coming in at number 1, we have Season 4. This season is almost flawless, and I emphasized almost. We start the season off with the Water War, which I liked. However, I think it dragged on a little too long, and I wish they could have tried to trim it down to 3 episodes. Then there's some droid stuff that nobody cares about. Then we make our way into debatably the best arc in the show, the Umbar arc. One of the first things I noticed while watching this arc is just how similar it feels to the Vietnam War. I'm not sure if that's what they were going for, but I really liked the choice. The reason why this arc is so good is because, and I don't say this lightly, this arc has the best character moments and development in the show. They were able to humanize the clones in this arc so well. This is very much on display when Rex tells General Krell that his name is not CT-7567, but it's Captain Rex, telling the audience that none of the men are just numbers to be disposed of. I could say more about this arc, but we'd be here all day, so let's move on. We then get an arc where Anakin and Obi-Wan are captured as slaves, which provides some great insight into Anakin's mindset and his troubled past of once being a slave. This season also has the Obi-Wan Bounty Hunter arc, which is really fucking cool, and I think was probably the most creative arc in the show. And the season finishes with the return of Darth Maul, which has ended up being one of the best decisions that George Lucas and Dave Filoni have made. Alright, so that's going to do it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to see more future Star Wars content. But anyway, thanks for watching, and goodbye.